What's up, all? I am live from an iPad. I'm gonna try this out. So, I was hoping I could share this, but I think the way I went live with this, I can't do that. Shoot. Let's see if I can do that. Just a second. Please hold on there for me 1 second. Share. Yeah, but I can't have anybody come on with me. This is some more of that fine quality. What's up, OG? I was actually going to invite you on, but I don't think this going live this way, straight from the iPad, allows me to do that. That's funny. This is not a. Well, anywho. So I guess you'll just have to chat. So the group, normally on Fridays, there is a group called Rocky's War Room. It's Matt and a bunch of other people. Not a bunch, 4 other people, 5 other. Sometimes I come on, rarely. I'm a trader and do other stuff. Last week I gamed with Devin. But anyway, they normally go live on Fridays. You should definitely check it out if you're into painting and just like to hear some guys ramble on. Matt does a great job of coming up with a topic and we chat and stuff. But the one night I'm able to do it, they're moving it to a different night. But he'll announce that. Check out Rocky's War Room on Facebook and subscribe to his channel. And you'll see when they go live. But they do some really cool chats and stuff. But I actually had some free time, so I'm like, well, let's get on here and do something real quick. First time painting in the new hobby room. Lovely hands. I am still putting this room together. It is a disaster, frankly. But, I was like, you know what? Let me just try to do this and see if I can make something happen here. Spend 30 minutes. Matt, speaking of Matt, I guess it'll just be a boy crush Matt and I. Boy crush. Man crush. Either way, I sound bad. He's been painting. He painted every day, I think, in December, and then he decided to continue it throughout the year. So he's painted. I think he's done this every day of the year so far. I think. So that's pretty awesome. So good job, Matt. But that channel's really cool, and they're inspiring to me and stuff to keep going. And even though they give me a hard time, I think they still support me. So what I'm doing here is, what I want to do real quick is touch up a couple things. So I've got these 15 millimeter. Oh, that's good quality filming. Oh, there's the camera. Yeah, you can't see that. So oh boy, that's terrible. Oh boy. Anyway, 15 millimeter. That I painted up a long time ago, and I've got these 15 Americans that I bought a long time ago. They look terribly dark here. The lighting, I'm still working on that. But I am just not happy with them at all. I did have someone use my figures one last year, actually. It's amazing how fast time goes. And he said, probably you should. He thought they were fine, painted fine, but he said you should probably highlight them. It would help. So I'm like, okay. So I tried highlighting some a little while back, and I did not do a good job. Painting is not my forte for sure. So I tried it, and I kind of failed. So then I asked, speaking of Matt and those guys, I asked them some questions. One of the guys is a professional painter. One of them is an aspiring professional. So, and Matt and everyone else are really, really good. So they gave me some ideas. I'm going to try it. I kind of put some colors here that I think will work. I'm going to try just doing a little highlighting here. And then actually, before I did that, I noticed, I should have done this before, so some of them haven't, I'm not even sure they were washed. So what I did with on a lot of my figures is I washed them, and then I never highlighted. I didn't really know if that was a thing. I mean, I knew highlighting was a thing, but so I'm going to try something real quick here. I didn't really realize that you highlight after you do the wash, because this darkens it up, and that's my problem with my minis. They're too muddied and dark. So so I've been thinking, like, either I want to go to a different. It's just hard to see them, so I thought, well, maybe I just need to go to a different scale. Maybe my eyes are bad, getting older, all that business. And I thought, no, I see some people's 15 mil, and it's amazing. Like, it's not you, minis, it's me. So then I noticed, like I said, these haven't even washed, I don't think. Now, I don't know if these will get dry before the chance. I might just try highlighting some. I'm just not worried about the... so, washing is amazing to me, what it does. Just fills in the gaps in the... Back in the old day when you just did it by hand. And I watch these channels about speed painting and all that. I am definitely not that, but I don't do it enough. So I would encourage you, if you thought about painting, to hop on one of these painting chats. That's not the only one that does them. There's other people that do them, but I like it better live. I've tried to do some that aren't live. It's a little tougher for me, but they're rambles, so it's a little different. The painting chats is when you have like 3 or 4 people participating. His rambles are kind of 4 guests, kind of chatting about topics and stuff, but they're all painting and doing stuff, but they definitely all talk about what's going on. But it really helps, kind of motivates you, gives you ideas. You ask questions if it's live. That's the cool thing about being live, you can ask questions. So, but if you kind of know what you're going and doing. So what I did before I got on here is I got the colors picked out that I wanted. I probably really should have shaded these before, but this is kind of an impromptu deal. So there's probably some other secrets I should know about this. I get the extras off. I need to walk in there in my room and see if I could have swore I shaded some of these. So what this shade does, if you don't know, because I get a lot of board gamers, sports game people watching, the pigment will sink down into the crevices, so it kind of automatically highlights or darkens. No, it doesn't highlight, it darkens, and that's my problem. I kind of was using it as my highlighter darkener, and that's just not how it works, because you get some of that pigment on the top surface, right? So it muddies it and darkens it. I mean, you can't see this, but I can already tell this, darken this up. I don't think I'll worry about these Americans. So what I've done, I talked to the guys, and they talked about using an ivory or something to do a different shade. Now you can buy shades of paint. Don't drink your water. Let's see here. I'll get my chat going here. I don't think I have anybody. All messages are visible. What wash are you using? The OG asks. I'm using Citadel Nuln Oil. That's my black one. My brown one is Agrax Earthshade. Nothing creative there. Got a collection of Army Painter paints and Colors of War / Flames of War. I'd say painting paints. This was probably my worst purchase. I wish I just would have stuck with the Vallejo. They're fine, but the colors are separated. And actually, my Army Painter colors are separating too. I don't paint enough. Anyway, so they suggest I mix it with an ivory. I have seen people mix it with bleach bone. There's also this, which is way more ivory than anything I've got here. So, what do I use to mix it? I think I'm going to try... Sorry guys, I thought I'd figured this out, but this is kind of like a bleach bone, banshee brown. No, not even close. So I'm going to stick with this. Let's see what happens here. So what I've got is I got my colors picked out. So Sherman Drab for the helmets. Shook them up a little bit so I could do this a little less online here. Oh yeah, Agrax. I think everyone uses the Citadel or shades because they're pretty good. I tried making my own shades at one point, but without much success. So Two things I would like to get. Actually, I had my eye on Rocky's. The guys at Matt's group won't believe this, but I was actually thinking about a brush. What do we call it? Oh boy. I was thinking about a airbrush. So here I am mixing a little bit of bleach bone with the Sherman Drab helmet color. Try to wash it, or not wash it, but highlight it. Highlight the American helmets. I don't think that looks like enough, so now I am screwed. Let me get some more. This is the only thing bad about these pots. Someone did a video, actually I think it was to take the paint out of here and put them into these droppers. These droppers are great. I love the droppers. Yeah, I like that better. So then, oh, a wet palette. Again, I tried making my own and it molded. I don't know, is the water I was using or what? It just molded super fast. So I don't know if I need to use distilled water or something. I don't know what's going on there. But the wet palettes would be great. So a wet palette's good because it's going to sit here on this glass I've got it now, and it's going to dry out really fast and separate and do all that stuff. So, all right, let's get one of these helmets. See if I can. Another good thing to do is thin it out with water so it doesn't go on as thick. And I need a paper towel. And I don't have paper towels in here yet, so I'll just use this rag. So I'm basically wiping off some of the paint and just kind of touching up here. The question is that doing anything? Is it too much? So yeah, so I was just having some like I wasn't liking my minis that I had. Like they're too dark, you can't see them. Could be my eyes. And I thought, well, I don't want to do another. I really don't want to get another scale. I don't want to get a bigger scale because, well, that means more terrain. That means more investment, and that I don't really want to spend on. Where the light hits the helmet. Yeah, I'm not doing this well at all, I can tell. So here's the deal. You see how it dries. Yeah, I'm not liking the way that's looking. I need to check out some videos and get some instruction here. So yeah, this paint's already drying out. So a wet palette would be nice or something. I think what I need to do is maybe thin it out a bit. Caramba. How's this looking, Devin? Is it looking all right? I'm way tucked away in this room. I'm a little, whoa. How's this looking? How's it sounding? Agrix is magic. Just about the only wash that Citadel has ever done well. Talent. The bottle, like it's made from crushed up pixies. Yeah. I used Agrix all the time. The trick is making your own shades if you have to give Vallejo's glaze medium. Cuts the surface tension down and really lets the paint sink into the crevices. Stream is at 720. Tough to make out any details of those small minis. Sound is good. Well, at least it sounds good. Yeah, the video quality of the Vinnies I wasn't too confident of because So I can kind of see, just because of streaming from the iPad, usually not a great thing anyway. So I'm kind of using this picture I have, this mini, and you can kind of see where the light's reflecting off just from this light. So I'm like, well, I'll just use that as a guide. I think this bleach bone might work, but what happens when it dries, it's much darker. Yeah, it's definitely too thick. Oh, and I said paint monologue because I didn't know if anybody would come on. But Devin, I did see you online. I thought, oh, maybe Devin will join me up. Like I said, I thought about trying to get you to come on with me, but I can't invite people to this. I should have gone through a Hangout, I guess. This is just the live button on Facebook or on YouTube. All right, so there's that. There's all the helmets. Now let's put that down. I really need a paper towel in here. As I look around, I do not have one. So first thing I'll do, and this time I'm going to write it down. I tried to write down, and I always kind of move in my notebooks and stuff, so I've also got a piece of the notebook up here and a rule book from Matt I need to return to him. Matt, I got your Civil War set here. I'll write down in this notebook if I get a successful mix here. All right, so now let's try, these Germans are still drying. Let's try the combat fatigues. Now, the person that painted these, oh, I got someone joining us. Let us know who it is. The person who painted these Americans painted them all green, which is fine. I'll tell you what, it was nice getting a painted army. And I've looked at getting, so I have some tins I need to paint, and I looked at paying somebody to paint them. I'm just like, dang, it's just hard to, I have a hard time justifying it. So all the colors don't match up exactly, but this looks about right. So this is Army Painter Combat Fatigues, WP 1409. This looks about right. It looks actually pretty light. I'm going to paint one of the guys and see how this looks here. It's been a while since I painted. This is good. All right, so it's just it's kind of wet. And I don't think this guy ever washed these minis anyway. So anyway, that's always good to thin it out. Otherwise, it goes on too thick. And you can definitely tell that on minis when it's painted on too thick. I do wish I was faster. I'd probably be a little faster if I wasn't talking at the same time. You just need to sit there and watch it paint and chat or something. So Devin, who's on here with me, had a on his channel, the original Grognard. He does war games, board war games, and some computer games, and also sports games. And he had a what he called pay-per-view. He does it every Valentine's Day. I almost said Halloween. And he calls it a pay-per-view. Of course, it's not, but he just kind of jokingly calls it that, and has a pay-per-view of Women of Wrestling. And so he plays a game by Play. PLAA.com, PLAAY.com, play.com, and Face to the Mat, I think, wrestling. You can't see that, guys, sorry. Looks better. That in and of itself will be better, just having that lighter. So what I'm trying to avoid is painting on these straps, but I'm just going to have to paint over them and paint the straps. I'll be lazy. So this is the right color for sure, and I do not know, maybe sometimes you can after you wash it you can just use the base coat and you don't need to add ivory to it because it's so much lighter. Like this one I could see being a good highlight coat. So I am, unless it dries really weird, I'm super happy with this as the Combat Fatigue, kind of that drab color, and when you wash it it'll kind of tone it down a little bit and then highlight it. And what I should do is while I'm sitting there painting, like, okay, what will I highlight? anyway, so Devin, the original Grognard's got some good stuff. You should tune in there if you like any sort of sports gaming, board war gaming. He's been doing World War II at Sea by Avalanche Press, playing SOPAC, so Southern Pacific in World War II, using chits and counters and all that. So not miniature painting, or not miniature games, but he's sane and just does board war games and computer. Which I don't do any computer, so that's how we're a little different. You can also find Devin, original Grognard, on Al Red Sox fan channel, doing just kind of chatting. So they do chats, but it's just kind of on topics. Could be games, could be movies, could be anything. Al's crazy, and I don't mean that literally. But I was on there one time with him. Tells you he's crazy enough that he had me on there. Just chatting about. We were talking World War II because that's what I do. But movies, games. He was kind of getting some ideas. He doesn't. He's a World War II gamer, curious. But I don't think he'll play. He's smart. He'll stay out of that. All Red Sox fans, obviously. He's a big sports channel. Football, baseball. I don't know if he's done other stuff. He might have done soccer before or something. But check those guys out. Matt. One of the other guys on Rocky's War Room has a channel, but I'm not remembering the name of it. It's because we all use nicknames and we have our real names, and I'm like, what is the name of his channel? So I don't want to even attempt it until I get his name down. But Chris, who's on there, his brother Jay has a podcast called The Veteran War Gamer. Shoot, I just got paint where I don't want it. And Chris has been on there before. That's a podcast, and I think they do have some videos up. The Veteran War Gamer. That's Jay. But Chris is the one that's on the chat. Also Bob, you can see Bob's stuff on Facebook. He's the pro painter, and he's really good. He puts us all to shame. But, ooh, I got a thumb up. Thanks whoever did that. Oh, you're welcome for the shout, of course, man. Devin's, so Devin and I, original Grognard, have, actually the reason I didn't paint last week is because he and I played a live game of Lock and Load Tactical. World War II, squad level. So each counter is a squad. I was maybe going to get on there tonight and play some, just a solo walkthrough, but I'm not sure. I feel like I have had a lot of work stuff going on, and some stuff kind of loosened up, so I feel like, some stuff, I got some stuff done, and so I just feel really light. Like, okay, man, I can take a break for a second and kind of get this room cleaned up. And so, anyway, I thought, well, I need to get the room cleaned up. I need to start getting paint to brush again. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to wash these. Oh, this is some sloppy work right here, bro. I'm not painting. These are not all my guys. I just wanted to paint a little bit, just try it out, experiment, get the colors down right, see how they dry before committing to all of them. Okay, what else do I want to chat about? Monologue. It's not chatting when you're by yourself, unless, Devin, you put a lot of comments in there. Then I won't paint, I'll be reading. Anyone else who comes on, please chat away. Battletech, new version came out. That is one of those games that tempts me every time. You guys have a game that tempts you when you see something about it, like, I think I really want that, and then you're like, come to your senses. I bought into and sold Battletech twice. The original starter set, another starter set, and then sold, and twice sold it all, and did it again. Well, they got a new starter set out, and it looks interesting. It has less minis, but the minis in it are good. And if I play Battletech, if I do, it's like, but why? And I'll talk about that as well, starting another game. If I were to do it, I know I'd play Alpha Strike, which is the simpler version, and I would use the Mech Warrior mechs that I have, because I am not about, as you can tell, those who watch Rocky's War Room will know, I am not a modeler painter. I would say I'm not a model painter. Sorry for the pun. So the thought of, and then I won with the channel Probable Cause. I won BattleTech Mini from him, and I feel bad now. Like I almost feel like I should send it back or send it to another winner, because I don't think I'm gonna put that thing together. I mean, you got to pin that stuff. I'm like, are you kidding me? Pinning it? Of course, painting it would be kind of fun, I suppose, because you could kind of do a variety of colors. There's all kinds of color schemes, but I just think that's going to happen, you know? I mean, getting the tanks and the things. So I got all this Mech Warrior stuff, and you can use it, and you can find Alpha Strike information about it. And Alpha Strike's the smaller, quicker playing version, quicker picker-upper. And I might still do that, but you know, you could get a couple of cool minis, but the minis aren't the right size. So I was sitting there thinking about it, and yeah, this looks so much better. Wow. Okay, that part worked. I don't need to do the pants now, so that's cool. I really wish my camera was better and I could show you what I've done here. Yeah, Devin, I would probably play 330-25, 332 too. I don't know the dates that well. I think mix, let's see, if you're going to lighten green, use yellow, not white. Yellow lightens up green better than white. Oh boy. Okay. Boy, I wish these would stay up here faster. I think my mix used was doing 15 mil. It was 4 parts green and 1 part yellow. I think that was the mix. Been years since I painted. Have to find what works for you. Yep. Thanks for the shout out. So BattleTech's cool. Just the history and the thing, and there's so much. You have so many maps and so many things you can do. So now what I'm going to have to do, sorry, and I know you can't see this, guys and gals, but I got to kind of check out. Check out some tutorials on highlighting helmets. Okay, so that was a success. That camouflage fatigues I like a lot for the US. Khaki, it's a little bright, but that's what I was trying to do. Let's see what happens when I wash it. And then I do want to do the pants. I want to make it greener. So now I'm doubting my pants color. Let's try this out and see what happens here. US Field Dry, which I do not have. Boy, I'm all over the place here. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate. So BattleTech. So anyway, so I thought about it, and as I was getting more and more tempted by it, I got an email with the Blitzkrieg Commander rules. So Blitzkrieg Commander is on version 4. They released version 3 and had a disaster. Unfortunately, I was a part of that playtest, or not a playtest, but proofing. Just adding a little water here. And it was a disaster. The army lists were all whacked. The guy that came in and did it changed too much. I felt terrible. He's taken a $25,000 to $30,000 hit, I believe. Leon from Pendraken. He's the one that bought the rules. I mean, yeah, it falls to him. He messed up, but you know what? He didn't have to do that, really. But it was bad, and the fans or the customers voted, and he went that way. It's been 2 years since it came out, so he lost $25,000. He's gonna trash all those books. He's going to get these new ones printed, and anyway, I feel bad for the guy because he's been so amazing. So I proofed them. Anyway, they came back and they came to the email and said, "Hey guys, final proof. Check it out." I'm going to try one here without thinning it out with a whiter color. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, it's too. I need to more dry brush it. You can tell that's what I need to do here. So I need to get a different cloth. This one's too thick. So I got those rules and I started proofing it. I mean, I spent 3-4 days just reading rules. And I was just, as I read them, I'm like, man, I really like these rules. I really like, I know some people aren't big fans of Blitzkrieg Commander, but I just really dig them. They really resonate with me, and boy, I'm not highlighting well. I do not think that's the right color. It's too as I started reading them, I was like, you know what? I really like this game, and I have barely touched this. It's not very deep. It's not a very deep rule set. I made a list of all the things I haven't done. I haven't really used scouts much. Planes, scouts. I haven't used Recce a whole lot. I shouldn't have that paper sitting in that water that long. It's going to bend the tip. Oh gosh, I had a list of probably 20 things I've done not much done with field defenses, engineers, bunkers, airborne assault, river crossings. There's so much I have not done with that game. It's ridiculous. So I was kind of like, you know what? And I really like it, and I really enjoy it, and I've got like 15 to 18 games under my belt, most solo, but there's few with people. It's the only game I've ever put live on at a convention. That's not a good one to use. I thought, you know what? I like this. I like World War II. Stick with it. I found something I like. Use it, and use it a lot. And perfect's not the right word, but get really good at it and enjoy that one. Put games on. And there's enough depth and things there, like, Battletech's got a lot of history and depth and all that, but I'm like, so does this. I can read about the battles, I can study them. My highlighting here is like very obvious. I'm gonna have to go to Matt's, and he's gonna have to just kind of walk me through this. This is dank, as my son says. It's a dank meme. Todd can't paint meme. Oh, my guys are squatting. I'm like bending over at the knee here. So this tells me it's too thick. Alright, you know what? I'm not gonna add another one. Let's try this. Isn't working, so let's add a little bit of this color here. I need a stick to add this paint in here. So I ultimately walked myself off the ledge and did not buy Battletech. Well, let me back up. You can't buy it right now. It's out of print. It's already out. They already sold out. I've heard it's a really good set, a good box. And I don't know why it is that I've got it and started and stopped it. It's kind of interesting. I've done that twice now. There was another game I did that with recently. A board game, war game. stopped and started twice. Funny thing about that is I'm actually being tempted by that, but a new version of it, Kickstarter going. It's a Kickstarter, but these companies, it's a full-on. It's who makes Lock and Load. It's Lock and Load. Ooh, man, goodness gracious. And it's their World War III, Cold War Gone Hot game. World at War, World at War, Thunder Down Under. No, that's not it. What is the name of it? Storming the Gap. World at War 85, Storming the Gap. And I'll tell you what, man, for $70, you get a ton of game. Devin, I don't know if you're interested in that at all, but holy cow, that Kickstarter, $70. You get so much game. All right, so here we are. I've added this. Oh my gosh. But when I have it washed with water, it's a little thin. I've got all these Army Painter wash mixing medium. It's not a wash. Gloss varnish, definitely don't want to do that. War paints mixing medium. I think that's what you want to do. Matte varnish, that's something for later. Yeah, I love it. I love this amateur hour here going on. Who's the other person watching? Let me know who you are. Oh, hey, what's up, Dash? What you painting? So I'm painting so Dash of Alon Wargaming, that's another good channel. Check them out. I'm painting, I'm trying to highlight 15 mil. It's 15 mil, it's Battlefront miniatures for the most part. I don't know what the metal ones are. This guy had, it's probably Battlefront as well. I don't like my minis, they're too dark. I'm not proud of them. So I'm trying to lighten them up, and now I'm struggling with getting, first of all, I'm trying to get the colors, the right color. I like what I did with the you won't be able to tell my color, my camera's not right, but I lightened up the top. So I bought these Americans, and they are just pretty much green with flesh. So that was pretty easy. But I highlighted the helmets, and my highlighting is just very obvious. You know, it's a splat of paint. It transitions well. I'm trying to do it fast. I'm not going to do layers and layers, so I'm making a lot of compromises. But it seems like I've seen people highlight in like one stroke. It's funny, you can watch a lot of videos about it until you do it. I'm trying to get the pants now. Again, they were kind of a dark green. They should have really been khaki. So I'm trying to highlight them, and I am failing. Because, again, I don't know if I thin it out too much. So that one I just painted that color. This is what happened last time I tried this exercise. I might have to rethink this and really kind of look at it. Is that take some of these over to Matt's with my colors and say, all right, Matt, help me out here, man. I mean, the funny thing is I can see where they're highlighting. So it makes me almost think I should forget about, I should use the brown violet like he used for the helmet. Sherman drab it up and maybe put, I did that for the helmet and I did not like, let's try it out. Try this out a little bit. I've been messing around with lighter base coats and primer. Your primer plays a big role in how dark they are. Black primer goes dark. Yeah. So I have some 10 mils here that I was going to work on tonight, but I might stop because I want to do it. See, this is what happens. I want a game instead of paint. So I primed them a gray color. So I didn't go crazy and go white. So I didn't commit too much there. But bleached bone to try to thin it, or not thin it, but lighten it up. Oh boy. Kind of ramble. I'm all over the place here. So anyway, so World at War series. That one I'm tempted by because I'm like, well, it's a board war game, but you know, I'm trying to really stick with the paratrooper stuff this year. I'm being very religious about that, so to speak. But doesn't mean I have to play it this year because I don't think there are any. I can't believe there are any para scenarios in the new one. Yeah, Devin, I keep hitting all these. Devin made a comment that you know it's beyond the price because it's just stage of life for him, but and I understand that. That's so tempting because it's got so. I mean, I think I counted there's 10, 15. I don't know, 15 to 20 maps and two huge scenarios with maybe where they add counter sheets to it. It's crazy. They're just like, oh gee. So I'm considering it. It would fit into my budget now, but I haven't really done a year-long budget where I plan out, okay, I want to do this, this, and this, kind of have some ideas of what I want to do. I've got some pre-orders out there. They're still within my budget. Basically, I put myself $20 a week, and I can use them for gaming stuff. Whoa, that brush is... It's not the brush I want to use. This is not the brush I'm looking for. So, okay, where am I? So, basically, go back to Battletech. I came up and I had all these, and I really felt, I was like, okay, you know what? I do not want to start a new thing. I have Blitzkrieg Commander. I like it a lot. Dash will know what I'm talking about. And there's so much to explore there. There's so much World War II I haven't done. I haven't gamed. That I have it's just terrible. So there's just so much more to game for World War II that I haven't done and explore and you know learn and the depth and the history there, and I don't game enough to play a bunch of different games. So and then I get tempted by the you know the shiny board war game, which is a little easier to get into because you buy the game and you open it and cut the counters and go. So it's a little easier to go shiny on that and not feel quite as bad. Miniatures is a little harder because it's bigger commitment, bigger investment. See now, like I'm looking at this guy, he's got these great folds. It's like a perfect thing to highlight. The light's hitting these things just right. It's just my transitions aren't great. And I think it's because I have too much paint, so maybe I'm just going to have to do multiple wet layers. Just going to have to suck it up, be a big boy. All right. I wouldn't want to use that in my recipe book here. But I do want to write down that. So anyway, basically I'm not buying Battletech because I got too much. I'm too interested in World War II. I may buy the Alpha Strike book when it comes out if I got the money for it. To have it, to hold it, to cuddle it, pet it. What's that guy doing? Bugs Bunny. I'm making a note here. So, U.S. Army Painter Combat Fatigues. Let's say I'm okay with the highlighting of that. I just have to do it better. So I'll go Sherman Drab. With bleached bone. That's 321. Let's see. Are any other comments from you guys? Oh man, you got a bunch. Primer. I've been messing around. Yep. Well, I've been pretty fixated on ASL. Yeah. I noticed you've done that. So Dash has been putting little. I don't know if you've had any videos on it, but you've been posting on thing. Getting back into it with the starter kits. Yeah, starter kits. So I look forward to seeing your Brits. So with ASL, I sold all my ASL except for the rulebook and Beyond Valor. I kept all my starter kit, but I got rid of everything else. So starter kit I'll have. I'm buying the new PTO, Pacific Theater of Operations. All right, let's try this. First of all, so I bought that just to kind of stay and be a completist and have the entire set. No, I sold all ASL because I've dove into, and I've been tempted by ASL. Even after I sold it all, because it's such a. I've told Devin this like a million times. A broken record. Such a great community. I love the history. There's so much depth to it. But I played some ATS with Devin. ATS is a cool game. The great thing about ATS, historical maps. They have geomorphic, but most of them are historical. I don't know how historical they are, but they're just maps. It's kind of cool. And there's a lot of depth there. But the company's weird. Everyone would admit, I wish Mitch would buy that company. I don't know why. Yeah, I just wish he would. Because he's published game. He understands it definitely better than I do. But it's kind of committed with lock and load tactical. I get it. After I played that game with Devin, when we were done, I went and finished the game. Because Devin, we stopped with about 2 turns left, and I finished it to see how it played out, because I could. It's easy enough to do that. And then I thought about it, and I think about it, and I'm like, maybe I should design scenarios for it. Not that it needs it, because I've got hundreds of them. I'll never play them. But, again, gamers, and we need more, we think. But I'd like to design some Crete scenarios. This paint. Well, the bad thing about these paint bottles, you can't take the lids off the dropper part, so you can't put a little ball bearing in there to make them mix better or anything. Anywho, so lock and load's been awesome. I'm glad you're getting back into ASL. Like I said, I'm keeping starter kit. There's a lot there. If I ever get into it, I don't even know how many scenarios I have for starter kit. All right, here we go. So. Ray is the owner of Critical Hit. Let's just say, I like to try to keep things positive. He just runs his business differently than I would run it. And he gets a lot of criticism, even from fanboys. It's kind of something you kind of have to look a little, kind of turn not a blind eye. That's not right. That makes the customers, and because like I said, Mitch, who I really respect as a customer, and Tony. There's some people, Devin. I don't think you've bought anything in a while, have you? But he's just, I don't understand his thinking. He doesn't come out with his descriptions. It's just, and he'll release the same thing, call it a different name, and I don't think, the thing is, I don't think he's being like dishonest. Like he's like, oh, I'm gonna fool him. I don't think he's doing that. Either I don't think he is, or I'm just being naive. But okay, so what I'm trying here with these guys first is I thought, let me try painting their uniforms just with the color, without like lightening it up. Just kind of cover over the shade to see if that works. I don't think it's working. And this is what I've done before. It's too light. You'd have to do multiple shades, and like I said, I'm not about to do that. So I'm going to have to mix a little bleach bone. You can see the paint's drying here. I don't use that much, so I'm not wasting a lot, but it's just kind of a bummer because it's like I'm not done using it. Yeah, I really lightened it up. I guess I should try the yellow thing. Okay, see now I like the look, the way this looks here. I mixed some bleach bone in with this. I like the way it looks. Now the question is how do I get that on there in a more, and the way you get it on there when you're brushing, when you're not airbrushing, is you use water. But I feel like it's thinned out so much now that when I, 3 people watching, who else is watching on here? Oh yeah, Devin designed for Ray for a while. That was in Devin's crazy face. No, I'm just kidding. You know, Devin, I do forget you did that. That's pretty awesome. Talk about designing scenarios. We should. Oh man, you should come on. We should talk about that sometime. Because I've only designed, a couple, but I've only designed one that was public, and it was not. It was the first draft. No, it wasn't first draft. Second, third draft of a scenario, and played at the convention, and it was not great. It was okay. Not great. I don't know. So what I'm trying here, whoever just joined, I'm trying to highlight some minis. I'm not being real successful here. I'm highlighting them, but it's like obvious highlighting because it's not blending. And to blend it, I need to add some thinner medium or some water, which I did an amazing blending job on a tank. Just using water, just kind of thinning it out and just kind of putting it on there. But I don't know if it's because these are so much smaller. It's just kind of running into the crevices. I'm like, well, that's defeating. I need to stay on the surface here. And I thought, because I just washed these, I thought, well, maybe I'll just do it this way. Maybe I don't worry about that. Oh, see, like that was too much. Like, too much. Too much, pull back. And when you're solo monologuing like this, you got to keep talking, or it's kind of silly. You guys could chat in the thing; it just doesn't make for a good video. And you have to breathe. See, now that I gotta get that off there. Try brushing there to go down, but there's too much paint on my brush. Use the old finger clean off method. Okay, it's a little better maybe. I have to kind of wait and see what happens when it dries. The thing is, I got this light that's giving me some really good highlights to focus on. And actually, I've watched some of the videos where they do that, and sometimes they are very, if they're just trying to do it quick, they do make some pretty big blotches on there. And maybe it'll look alright. I mean, I think maybe I was overthinking. Let's just try it this way, see how it dries. You know, I definitely don't think you can judge it until it dries. So like here, it's like this is a major point of highlight here. Top of the shoulder, top of the arm, top of the shoulder, fold there, top of the tunic there where it raises up. See, that's just too much, but that's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm trying to do this fast so I can play. Okay, that's my thing. I want to play. If I could afford to have someone paint my army, I would do it in a heartbeat. I've looked into it. I could maybe swing it, but man, I start to look at the cost to even paint like a 10 mil army. I'm like, gee willikers, Bob. Oh, I got 5 viewers. Holy mackerel. Uzi Patrol. What are you painting there, Uzi? Oh, the tri-pack. I've tried the tri-pack with Reaper. Again, not much success. That didn't look that much different to me. Nice mounted boards. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Uzi or somebody else? GMT. Oh. What are you guys talking about up here? Yeah, original garden. We need to talk about scenario design. Our paint chats are Sundays. I was not sure I told you. Welcome to the join. Oh yeah, I've seen you doing those. It's just a matter of timing. Add you to the group on Facebook. AJ, what's up, Twin Bay? Oh, thank God. I thought maybe you were painting the house or something. I didn't really want to watch that, but alas, you're not, so I'll shop Space Bell. Sweet. AJ Toynbee, check out his channel. He's designed his own tactical level game. He also plays ASL, and he plays other games. He seems like a pretty cool dude anyway. If you Anyway, he's designed something. He's got some videos. It seems like it's been a while since you put one up, but maybe I just haven't seen it because I don't get all my stuff in my feed. I've noticed on YouTube. I have to kind of check around channels. AJ's cool dude. But in board war games is what he does, and so he did design. I'm going to say like ASL. It's not like ASL. You can actually play it. So AJ Toynbee, check out his channel. Subscribe to all these guys. Dash. Oh, on my game table this year is SPQR, too much, Twin Peaks, Jutland, and of course some great battles of the American Revolution. GMT, I've got some of those. I got back into painting minities. Citadel, yeah, great. I got great battles of American. Oh, you know what? I don't think I got great battles of American Revolution. Maybe I did. It's an easier level, right? Is that Dash? Is that the right one? Oh yeah, the tri-pack. Yeah. That's a cool one. They're nice. Nice mounted boards. What are you talking about? And Dwarf. Yeah, I think the guys that paint. All right, so I think I might have successfully done that. That might have actually been a success. It's not, ideal, but I don't want to make it ideal. So if that worked, that was Grenadier Green with bleached bone for the greenish tunic. Unfortunately, I think I just used, I'm going to say I used for the base. Oh, I got to pull up my phone. That's why I got that on. Sorry, guys, for this thing here. Probably German Field Gray is what I used for the base. So let's write this down. I think Grenadier Green is the new. See, they changed their numbers. It just drives me crazy. I'm like, come on. 349. Grenadier Green is German Field Gray. So, German. So I'm writing down my recipes here that I feel like working. So, tunic. It's German Field Gray, which used to be called That is what it used to be called, which was 8:30. Now 3:49. Pens are green. No, grenadier green. Base and highlight, I think, is bleach bone with field gray. I think that's going to work. But again, I see these and I'm like, man, the reason I like 15 mil is its cost. I don't have to assemble the minis. 17 mil, you don't have to assemble the minis. 70 mil, I mean, oh my gosh, not 70 mil, that'd be huge. 1/72 or 20 mil. 20 mil, you don't have to assemble the minis. You do have to assemble the vehicles. What's funny to me about 20 mil is you hear, oh man, you can get so much stuff for it. And I thought you could because of models and Airfix and all this stuff. But it's just not, I just didn't find it. I did not find that to be true. Finding building, you can find 15 mil buildings so much easier. I could anyway, and for me, cheaper. I was just having, so that's why when I'm tempted to go that way, which I even am right now, because I'm like, oh, I can't really see these guys. But I look up and I see a 20 mil building that Matt gave me, and it's awesome. It's printed by Tim Spakowski, I believe he printed it. It's great. It's a Normandy building. It's the cafe. But I'm like, oh my gosh, trying to store all those minis? I have hard enough time storing the minis I've got. I'm funny. All right. There's that. There's that. So I got the helmets. So now I could probably go ahead and wash those. Those are probably dry. But do I want to highlight the gray on the pants? I think I do. So let's keep sticking with that. Let's stick with the Germans. You have to paint more often than I do, or your paints separate. If there's a topic I brought up or I need to start over again, just remind me, people in the chat. What are you guys doing? Are you just listening? That's painting something? What's going on? What's going on with you guys? I think it's all guys watching right now. Oh, are you kidding me? So you can't pop the tops off of these. Whereas with these army painters you can. I'm gonna shake like a mofo. I need that little pin to stick in. I don't think I have any straight pins right now. I have a pencil lead that'll break off in there. Something I need at my table. The other thing I was wanting to get for my table here. Wait, oh, I think you could pop it off actually. Should I try to do it right here on screen so you guys can all laugh? It looks like it's one piece, but nope. Oh shoot, the lid is cracked. Oh my gosh. Huh? I was wrong. You can do it. Do I have anything thin enough to reach in there to stir it up? But now the lid's cracked. So it's possible I could squeeze it and it'll pop and go everywhere. That'd be hilarious. Be fun to catch on video. Oh man, I do not have anything I could. I'll be right back. Little wooden sticks here, they might be too big. Where's Where's all the liquid for this paint? Yeah, this is not a good deal, man. This paint here. Bad news, McGee. Oh, man, this is bad. Like a little liquid in here. Ugh, great. I think I've made progress tonight. You all have helped me make progress, I believe. I probably should have left that out here. Just pull out some of the paint that way. So this is Great Coat Gray. Oops. So the lid's cracked on it. So if I have to check that when I'm using these now, man. I have to really thin it out because there's no. And water is not the best thinner, I'm sure, if you don't have any. Wow, this is sad, sad state of affairs. It's not a good purchase. I was getting a deal. I got a deal, all right. Okay, let's try this out. See, it's gonna be too thin. It's gonna run right into the crevices of the pantaloons. Well, it's not too thin. Actually, maybe a little too thick. It's too thick on the brush. Oh boy, sorry guys, I forgot what I was doing here. I need to chat here. So, what's going on? Let's see here. So I need to work on my room. So I need to, I've moved everything from the other room. I can now need to tear apart a workout bench that needs to go in there. So I want to get that done in February. That's my goal. See, some of that's running into the crevice. That's interesting. What is that guy holding? What the heck is that? What is that? That's funny. I can't tell what that is. I think that's his paint. So I need to start doing that, getting that stuff moved over. That'll take some time. Now I need to get this room organized. So I just bunch. It's like when you move, it's got a bunch of crap here. So now I gotta decide. I'm going to decide what I'm keeping, what I'm not. Someone's getting some of my ships. I think what I'm going to do is if I do any naval war game, it's going to be with some paper minis that some guy uses or that's made, and I really like them, and I'm good with that. And I don't really want to paint any more of those. So I would get rid of those. And there's some fantasy, Asian fantasy that someone's getting. Told them that like a million years ago. But now I got the time to pack them up and ship them out to them, so I'll get rid of those. But those aren't a lot of, those don't take up a lot of space. I think I've got rid of most of the war games I want to get rid of. Board war games. And get rid of the 70-second stuff that Matt gave me, which was nice, and I feel bad, and I asked him, he said that's no problem, so sell or give those. Okay. I'll clean up some stuff. I just need to organize. Need to put up some lights. The lighting in the room is not great. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, really? You don't like the Army painter bottles? The Army painter bottles, as far as I know, I'm okay with. Though I can see that popping out too. So far, I'm okay with those. Best ones are Vallejo. These Colors of War, they're little plastic bullet things. Dude. Bad news. Don't buy them. So, well, you know what? I think these Army painter bottles might be drying up. You can't, well, maybe you can see it. But yeah, it looks like powder in there. Have I ever finished my sentence of what I want to do? Is I want to get a nail polish shaker. You can find them on Amazon. Love Reaper. Yeah, it can tell it's good stuff. I like Vallejo a lot. Reaper Bones, Hero Forge, Flames of War ruined me as far as painting anything goes these days. So AJ, why'd they ruin you? Just too much? Sticking with my 15 and 20 mil for World War II. I agree. Even 20 mil seems too huge for me. So I've got these, I do 6 mil primarily. That's been most of my stuff. I still have nightmares of painting little camo smocks and helmets. Agreed. So I got these 10 mil. This is what I wanted to hire someone to paint. You guys know anybody? America would be great. America. Just because of shipping, it's just not, whatever, it's fine. No, you know what? I can paint these guys right now. Let's see what this. Hey boys. Hey boy. Because I'm like, I don't want to paint. I was looking at it, it's not gonna be so bad. Just chill out. So I got the 10 mil. I want to try 10 mil because Pendraken, because I'm proofing Blitzkrieg Commander. I said, you know what? If I want to do some videos of those, it'd be kind of cool to use 10 mil since Pendraken's got it. So I bought him. He did give me a deal, so that was cool. But now I totally feel I don't feel obligated. We're not in a contract or anything, but I do feel a little obligated. Like, need to get these bad boys done because that rulebook's coming out soon. So I'll probably end up using my 6s for the first ones because I'm not even get close to have these done. He sent them to me a long time ago. He's probably like, why aren't those painted yet? Oh my gosh, I can't even see this guy's pants. So these are bigger than 6. Anyway, so I got these 10s and I'm going to use 10 with 6 mil scenery, so I'm not going to get new terrain for that. Do I have any standing up guys? Everyone's squatting. Why is everyone down on their knees? I'm worried they're going to get shot or something? But I did base these in my new basing scheme that I may convert my 6 mil to. So like doing this right now, this gray really should be thinner because it's not really, it's covering it too thick. You know, in some ways I'd almost rather not. I was tempted like, do I just do board, go back to just to board, but man, I like the minis. I like the 3D spectacle of it, and I really dig that. It's hard to escape that. So it's funny. I was sitting there thinking about these, and I thought, I was looking at them again, like, I could just paint these, just get my colors figured out. So these are going to be an Arnhem, so they may not actually have gray pants. These guys will that I painted. That'll be a mix. But it's going to be an Arnhem battle with paratroopers. And so paint the Germans first. But I'm having a little bit of a hard time seeing where their pants and tops end. Pretty good sculpts, especially once you got the got the primer on them. You can really see stuff. That's another good thing about white primer. You can see stuff. So these small ones, I definitely wanted to primer them a lighter color. So I went with light gray. I will try white sometime. I'll jump into that and try that. It's a little hard to paint them when they're on their stands like this because they're kind of all together. And if they're all on a nail or something, you could do that. But I decided I wanted to try it so I could prime the base with them. I'm not going to stick with, I'm not going to write this in my little recipe book. I'm not going to stick with this color beyond these 3 stands. Had a little bit of a snow day today, half a day. So I had to leave physical work early and go pick up my son because the school called out. But then I got home and worked. But it's nice getting home before the crowds, and traffic was definitely quicker. Or get all crazy. I like working from home occasionally like that. Kind of different place, different mode, get some stuff done. I was able to get that work done, fix dinner, make chocolate chip cookies, do laundry, all before like 8:30 because I was getting all ready for the chat that didn't happen, that I had failed to see that wasn't going to happen. It's just like, man, this is great. I really like where I live. I like where I work, but they're far apart. I knew that when I moved here. But all right, I think I'm going to call that. I think I'm going to call it today. Oh, let me show you my basing scheme, what I'm doing here. So, don't have a 6 mil handy here. My 6 mils, I think, are on 20 mil bases. Do I have a ruler handy? I have nothing handy. Where's everything? So they're on like this size of base. Oh, I think it's just awesome. That is so crazy how dark it is. I have to figure that out. It's ridiculous. Okay, so yes, painting is cool and it feels cool to do it. And when you see it, you're like, wow, I did that. That's awesome. Would I buy it pre-painted? Yes, I would buy it pre-painted. I mean, so AJ, there are people that do it, right? I could send these guys off. It's like 50 cents to a figure or $1 a figure. I don't know. I got a quote for it. It depends on the size, but 50 cents a figure. But I need, so it was going to be like $300. Well, I mean, they'll paint them, and I probably wouldn't have them base them because I'd want to base them this way. Although I guess they would base them this way if I wanted. Well, I'm really sorry you can't see that. See if this light works here. No. I'm stumbling here. It's hard for me to swallow to pay that, right? $300. Not because I don't think it's worth it and their skill isn't worth it. It's just, it's a lot of money, right? Down. But if I think about the time, the energy, I mean, and I really like playing. So when I hang up on this call, I'm going to go, I'll probably fix a few things in the room, pop a video on or something, and clean a few things in the room, trying to organize, figure out how I'm going to organize this room, how the lights are going to go up. And then I'm probably going to pull a game out. I'm going to play, because I want to play a game. But there is satisfaction in seeing minis. But when I bought these minis here that were pre-painted, I'm touching them up, I'm fine with that. When I got them, I'm like, you know what? They were a little chipped, and they weren't perfect and great. I'm like, you know what? I pulled them out and played with them immediately. But most of the guys I know love painting. In fact, they love painting more than gaming. And that's great. And they do a great job, and it's awesome. And they inspire me to do painting and do better and get better. But, oh boy. I was super close to saving up. So basically what I'd do is I'd save up my little budget that I keep here all week. Excuse me, every week. And then send it off and have it painted. So it would take me 15 weeks to save it up. It's only 4 months. I mean, if I do what Matt does, paint 30 minutes a day. Could I get these done in 4 months? Well, then it's gonna. Well, that's the save for it, and then it's shipping it to him, which it's in Sri Lanka. Who knows how long that takes? 3 weeks? I don't know. And then he gets them. 3 weeks. Another 3 weeks. I mean, so that's another 9. So 24 weeks. I mean, half a year. But will I have these done in half a year? If I do like Matt and just find some time, 30 minutes a day, and do it, I'll be amazed what I get done, right? I never got to my basing. So my basing was about 20 by 20. I got 3 6 mil figs on there. So it's just funny. I think maybe you guys who paint can tell me this. Are you never happy with your painting? Do you think everyone else's painting is better than yours? Their basing's better than yours and all that? I think all that. Like I see people's basing, like, oh man, that basing's so much better than mine. So here you can actually see how the way I labeled these. Gosh, you can't see Jack. Oh, you can. Okay. See the 1 and the 2. So that's first platoon, second squad, or first platoon, first squad, second team. I don't know. You can say whatever it is. First company, second platoon. So I mark it like that. I thought, well, that way it's universal. You don't have to worry about A and B and C companies and whatever. Just mark it like this: 1, 2, and then all the 1, 2s go together, and then the 1 HQ, and then this guy that doesn't have it, you can't see it, kind of just dotted on the back. Do that. I don't really like that. And that's kind of how my 6 mils based, like that, or marked. Well, now I've saved it, and I've done it, and I've made this space here on the things, and it'll look like this. I'll work on the font and stuff, so it'll have the Randell, or that's something of the nationality, and it'll say what it is, infantry, and then 112, the identifier. I can't remember in Army, how's it go? Is it highest level on the right? So, well, it depends on if it's armored infantry or not, but first regiment, first battalion, first regiment, second division, whatever. It doesn't matter, but these are the designations. So first to the second, and then you can group them together. So I would have this. Those are the figures there, and then I could print out these labels. And of course, I would make them look nicer than that. Is it a little too much so then you're on the table and you can see, okay, here's my infantry, 112. And I like the organization because I like to keep the organizations together, the formations together. And if you're, in this case, it's, keeping your platoon, your squad together. So this is first platoon, second squad. And then my leader on the 15 mil is pointing his little finger. Go forward and die for your country. Don't die for your country. Make the other man die for his country. See? Anyway. I don't know. All right, let's wrap this up. So what do I think about what happened tonight? So I got these painted, got the grays done. I highlighted the Germans to, I would say, I don't know. I'd say fairly, I don't know. I'll have to sleep on it and come back and see. I'm fairly dissatisfied right at the moment. See, I'm definitely going to have to wash these, and I'm going to have to highlight them again. It's okay. I got to work on my technique for sure. So that's that. Thank you. Oh, 6 people? Dadgum people. Who's all watching here? Can you send 50,000 counters to me, AJ? What, to punch? Yeah, no, that's not happening. Or to dash. Oh, yeah. OG. You could pay OG, and then he could get the new World at War, or whatever it is game he wants to get. They do look better clipped, but I don't need another neurosis in my life. They do, I think it's not so much that they look better, though they do. I think they play better on the board because they don't catch each other with those little nibs on the corners. Those little nibs on the corners catch all the other stacks and flies them all over. Oh, geez, it's 11 o'clock already. So I think they play better that way. They're just easier to use, especially some of those stacks. My painting may be the best, but I like it. That's what counts, right? Well, I would agree. Well, I do want to do it for me, but when I play them, I'm not quite satisfied. And when my friend said, and who my friend the guy's incredible. He said, yeah, maybe just highlight them. I was already thinking that when he said, I'm like, okay. Probably because they're just hard to see. It's like, what am I looking at? Just a muddled thing. So, anyone play Kill Team? Oh, Hanger Flying. What's up, Hanger Flying? And they don't tear and fray. Yep. Anyone play? I do not play Kill Team. It's not my jam, as it were. Okay, so now I have to be a good boy here and put my stuff away. So I need to write down. So did I write down what I did on the pants? I'll write it down, but I'm not sure I'm happy with it. So I used Greatcoat Gray, pants, highlight of dark gray is Greatcoat Gray. Which translates to, it's fascinating watching, I'm sure. Greatcoat Gray was what? Medium gray. I'd say my biggest success was using combat fatigues from Army Painter to paint the tunics of the greatcoats and bedrolls of the U.S. Okay, so that's that. So I'm going to set those there. So I definitely painted 30 minutes. More, 80. We'll go 90 minutes. So I got about 3 more minutes left. Who's left? Does anybody play Kill Team? Subby. Evan, when is the next stream? Kill Team is cool. Don't need a ton of minis to play 40k, which I like. That part would be cool if you're into that. It's cool. That's why skirmish games are so popular now. Just fewer minis, man. I mean, I'm liking it. I'm getting into it. I like bolt action, chain of command. I just don't like 40k. I mean, I just don't like. I'm not a science fiction guy, but good question. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. 7? Dadgum. Who's on now? Oh yeah, Devin. I was like, who are you talking about? I was like, who's Evan? All right. Thanks for the thumbs up. Sub. ID Jester. Dang. Well, ID Gesture, this gets you back for what happened to me earlier this week with you. I got on, I think you were having a live chat with somebody. I got on there and I was typing a comment, and you're like, well, okay, guys, we'll see you later. I'm like, sadness and tears. It's just ID Jester's hanging up. So payback's a B, ID Jester. Okay, there's another channel. Go check ID Jester out. He does sports and he does war games. Actually, I first found ID when he's doing ASL. We had an ASL chat earlier, ID. A wrestling stream on St. Patty's Day. It's going to be a while before that happens. ID Jester, you aren't streaming right now. Amazing. I hear you, man. Our timing is bad, I guess. We're just not synced up, man. ID Jester's got good stuff. Anyway, he's the first, not the first. He has some really great ASL videos. I think you've kind of moved away from ASL a little bit. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. So, guys, thank you so much. Maybe one of you guys will get on and stream. I'm definitely, one plan I am going to have is I'm going to get Devin, the original Grognard, on, and we're going to talk scenario design, because he designed a pack for ATS, and that's exactly what I'd like to do. I'd like to design a pack of Crete scenarios for lock and load. Let's get some tips from the pro. AJ, yeah, you go to sleep there, young man. Guys, thanks again. We're going to end it here in 3 seconds to make it 90 minutes, but you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. I don't have some cool closeout, so since it's Valentine's Day yesterday, love you guys. We'll chat later, dudes, and thanks a lot. See ya. Now you gotta watch me kind of flutz around here. Okay, can you get the video off? You might want to stay on, see how long it takes me to get the video